you know, I think once McMinnville or the downtown committee decided that we needed new streetlights, I mean, that project actually came together fairly quickly.
Right.
I mean, it was a period of years, but it wasn't.
When it finally started, it went quickly. Getting it off the ground
Yeah,
to start with,
that.
it took a little time, yes.
Yeah, that was, all right, I take that back, never mind. One of the things I was going to say is I was downtown at the farmer's market a couple of weeks ago, and I parked, you know, kind of behind La Rambla where the cougar is.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a whole family, and all of the kids were taking turns climbing up on the cougar, laying down on the cougar, arms around their neck, mom's snapping the picture with the cougar, and I thought, well, you know, that's kind of cool, actually. People are really getting involved with art.
That's what public art's for.
Yeah, you're not going to put something out there that's so flimsy and fragile that people can't touch it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And we do select art that's doesn't have sharp edges, or you know, that would be dangerous to interact with. So that is at least part of our decision-making process.
Hopefully nobody's going to start crawling up your piece.
Hopefully not.
That's a little less accessible than a round sort of cougar-y thing, isn't it, I guess?
It is, it is.
And I guess the first public art was probably down at the courthouse, huh?
The first one? First one we put in was the rabbit over between the swimming pool and the library. No,
I mean like original public art before your committee.
Oh, before our committee?
The guy, the pioneer, the soldier.
Actually, I think that might have been the second. It's hard to say.
Okay.
Because there's a Soper fountain that's right between the aquatic center, and that was done in like 1923 or 24. Okay. And I'm not sure the First World War memorial would be after 18, so they're really close in there.
So they had a real good early impulse and then let it lapse for a while.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Until this generation picked it back up
But we're
again.
back on it.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Well, what's really interesting is it's spilled over. Third Street Books commissioned Totem Shriver to do a wood carving on the side of their building in memory of the weatherman.
Oh, John Day.
John Day. And then Red Fox Bakery had Totem do a complete entrance to their bakery. It's carved out of wood, and it's really...
It is beautiful.
Very nice. And so other people are starting to do things on their own, too. So it's not just us anymore.
I think that's really wonderful. And of course, Edwina, you've been, you know, in McMinnville a long time in the art scene as a dance teacher and ballet teacher, and I understand you're moving into a new studio too.
Yes, 11th and Irvine.
That's going to be exciting.
So, yeah, it's a little. Actually, it's a beautiful warehouse in a residential area, so I'm really excited about it.
And your students, some of your students are going to be part of the public art celebration?
Yes, we're going to do an interpretation of Stuart's piece, Renewal.
Okay.
And so what I've been doing is I've been talking to performers and asking them to come down and look at the piece and create an interpretation or select music or songs or things like that would fit with Stuart's piece. And so that's been a lot of fun, actually, in the moment, because you think about your world there. Here it is, a moment. When you see it, you can imagine the stars spinning, you know, the planets and the sun and everything moving, yet here it is in a moment. And so people are loving that whole idea and writing poetry and picking songs, and of course the theme too, renewal. That I know that Robin Peterson from the McMinnville High School Symphonic Choir is looking forward to interpreting some of the word renewal and also the piece itself. So that's pretty exciting, and how we tie into in a moment. And so I'm looking forward to how it grows.
So yeah, let's talk about some of the, in terms of the public event this year, some of the performers that you have lined up.
Okay, well, we have Gallery Theater is going to do an excerpt of Narnia, and specifically dealing with a moment in time. And that does come up in the story of Narnia because they're coming from one time zone basically into another time zone. So that fits in really nicely. And then we have some dancers that will be performing. Shannon Ray is going to do a piece, a visual art piece, a painting in the moment. She's going to just put impressions of what she feels is happening at the event with Stuart's piece there. And actually, we also have Monica Setzel Phillips' piece that is inside, which is another aspect of our celebration. So she's part of our latter half of the celebration.
Okay. And I think she'll be there, though, during the celebration, right?
Yes.
Will her piece be able to be seen during the celebration?
What we're going to do is we're probably going to do tours.
Okay. Because it's inside the Civic Hall.
Right. We'll finish with a tour.
Okay.
And then she'll talk about her piece.
Okay.
Which is really fascinating because she's integrated a lot of history into it, not only McMinnville history and then some of the landscapes, but also because it is a civic hall, she's integrated some civic symbols from Egypt, things like that have been used for government.
Oh, how interesting. Okay.
Things like that.
I've seen it, but I guess I didn't really understand the specifics of what that was supposed to represent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be a fun way to transition over to the culinary extravaganza.
I was going to tell you, Stuart, that when Edwina and I were out talking to various restaurants, a couple of the first 2 restaurants that we talked to both said, I want Stuart's piece.
Really?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
is that going to get me a good seat at one of the restaurants?
I think it will, yeah. Exactly. You say, I was that inspirational renewal guy. And they'll be, well, come right in, sir. Sit right down. You never know. Yeah, so I mean, I know that there's, we should probably talk a little bit about the date and the time of the event that's coming up.
It's Sunday, October 2nd at 3 o'clock. It's free to the public. That's part of our giving back to the Cultural Coalition. And then we have the benefit starts at 5 o'clock at the McMinnville Grand Ballroom. So the public event is at the Edward Gormley Plaza. In between, it's a beautiful space that's been built there, and it's in between the City Hall where Stuart's piece is and the Civic Hall where Monica's piece is. So
it's just a nice public space.
It is beautiful.
We'll hope, obviously, for good weather.
Yes. Yeah, so singers, dancers, actors, poets, literary people. We just want to have the whole gamut there and have people have a good reason to celebrate public art. And it helps people identify with public art. And so each year, that's the plan, is to go through and create impressions of what public art means to us. Like when you were talking about the children climbing on the cougar, what it means to that family, and the Ben Franklin, how much people interact with that. And I love the rabbit.
The rabbit is very cool.
I love the piece that's in front of the county clerk's building. We just put that in this year too. And when you look at it, it just fits right there in the county clerk.
That's a very nice piece of that location.
Facade there.
I think we're going to be
wonderful.
seeing some of the public art any moment. I think that they'll be showing some of the images on the screen.
Great.
So we should be, this should be coming up.
All right.
And then maybe when we get to your piece, you can flag it and say, "Whoa, that's me." Yeah. So here we have some of the public art, and that's.
You want me to talk about it? Okay, that's a piece called Unconditional, and it's on the corner of 3rd and Cowles, 2nd and Cowles, across from the civic thing. It's
by the parking lot.
parent penguin and a baby penguin.
That's really nice.
It's bronze, and it sits on a stone base.
Who's the artist?
Roughly 3 feet tall. It's a Washington, Whidbey Island artist.
Sculptors.
I don't remember the name.
And here we have.
This is Lloyd Wanell's sculpture. He is also from Whidbey Island.
Okay.
And that's limestone and bronze. I think it stands about 8 feet tall.
Wow.
And that's in front of the county clerk's office.
And it's called Silent Words.
Right, right. This is by...
God, another Whidbey Island guy, but it's Corten steel. It's about 7.5 feet tall, and it's at the corner of 5th and Johnson and Lafayette, where they all come together. There's a traffic island there. We just put that in about a month ago.
Segmented prism, huh?
Right.
Segmented prism, yes, thank you. And that one is
I don't remember the name, but
Birds in flight. I don't know.
it's
No.
blue herons.
It's a mating thing. They're building a nest together. If you look at it carefully, you can see that she's got some straw on one of her beaks.
And it's bronze. It probably stands about 8 feet tall in front of City Hall.
Yeah.
That's my piece.
Detail.
That is detail of the world showing inside the larger universe. In this photo, you really don't see the glass, but
you don't.
and the world is actually beautiful, shiny, and black. And I see here it looks quite gray and dull.
I know. I was going to say,
Oh, well.
wow, but it is. I like
You
the
can blame a
egg
photographer.
shape. Kind of like the life starts from an egg.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
There's the bunny.
That's a garden rabbit. And she's also the sculptress on that is also in Whidbey Island.
Really?
They're all off. There's a whole.
That's your
colony.
farm team, huh?
Yeah, that's our farm team. Absolutely.
AAA.
That's a piece by a guy named Nosavad, who's over in Wilsonville. It's Corten steel and stainless steel, and it's in the courtyard of the Gallery Theater. It's an honorarium. It's going to be there another year and a half, maybe longer.
Okay.
That's called Look Up.
Look Up, yes. And this is a watercolor. One of the people who recently moved to McMinnville decided they wanted to contribute to McMinnville, and these were painted by her father, who died in 1954, and they were painted in about the 1920s, and they're on the inside of the city hall.
Oh, okay.
And that is a piece by Totem Schreiber, and it was a gift of the Arts Alliance of Yamhill County and a few other people. And it is inside the Civic Building. If you go inside the Civic Building, it's in a little alcove that they built specially for it.
Isn't that Roy Setzel Phillips?
Oh, Roy Setzel.
Yes, right.
Brains in neutral.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's that one again.
That was our piece that we celebrated last year.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun.
And she had someone play the tines, and that's the
That's
way
a
yours
better-
really looks.
That's a better shot of my
Much
piece
better shot.
Yes.
in the landscape there, looking across at Gormley.
How tall is that piece?
I think it's maybe 6, 7 feet tall.
I was going to say about 7 feet, yeah.
This is Jesse Swickert's. I don't recall the name, but it's a bird flying through the sun. Stainless steel, and it's about 5 feet tall.
It's beautiful.
And it's outside the aquatic center.
Another Jesse Swickert piece. This one is on loan. The last one was part of our permanent collection. This is in front of the library and stands about 8 feet tall.
I would say
Post office?
Post office, right.
Probably a lot of people have seen that one because it's right by the drive-through.
Yes.
You really can't miss it.
You really can't miss it, no.
It's very colorful.
It is beautiful. Well, I really want to thank you all today for being here and taking the time to come out and talk about public art and also about the celebration that's coming up and the culinary extravaganza and the public event. And there's more information, obviously, on the Downtown Association's website, certainly, and that's where people can also find out ways that they can contribute to public art, am I right?
That's correct.
If somebody wants to make another large and anonymous donation to acquire another piece.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for being here today, all of you.
Thank
and
you.
Hope to see you again soon.
Thanks.
Thank you, Linda.